Coming to you live from the home of this podcast, the Black Goat 39 Studios. This is the Guru Talkin Sports Podcast, episode 75. And now here's your host, the Guru of Sports. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Will you please take your seats and clear the aisles. Hello, sports fans, and welcome. Welcome to episode 75 of the Guru Talkin Sports Podcast. I am your host, the Guru of Sports. And without further delay or further ado, we have with you tonight our favorite co-host, and can I say co-host? Co-host and executive producer, Katie Guru is in the house. Katie Guru, let's give you a clap. Hello, Katie Guru. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
That's good. How's the football career coming along?
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. Had first scrimmage today?
Mm-hmm.
You're doing good. You had played, they only did running plays, right?
Yeah.
They only did running plays. But I want to tell you guys that we're really excited. Caden Guru is growing up. Like I said, he'll be 16 on this coming Tuesday. And we got to give him some big props and congratulations. 16. And you know, he's still a short guy. He's about 6'2" now? 6'2". He's laughing over here. He's a short guy to me because I don't know what I did. I pretty much shrunk, right? That's what I did. I shrunk. Okay. Oh, before we get started, I want to tell you guys I welcome you into the Guru Talkin Sports Podcast. I know I'm welcoming you in again, but I want to make sure that I say this. And tonight, it is actually nighttime. It is actually Saturday night, the 21st of August, 2021. Now, I usually do this on a Sunday morning, but this Sunday morning, I'm taking Kate and Guru out to breakfast with a couple of my friends, and I wanted to make sure that we did the podcast and we enjoyed our Sunday. It'll be the last Sunday of his 15th year here. And I want to make sure that I had some time to spend with him and get him a nice, good birthday breakfast. We had birthday cake for him, and it was a great-looking birthday cake, and it was really good. Usually, Guru don't eat that much cake, but it was actually an ice cream cake, and it was really, really good. Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I definitely did, too. Actually, I had 2 pieces, which I usually don't have 2 pieces of cake or anything. Right now, I meant to tell you guys that I'm on this diet, and I'm really, really doing well. When I started, I was 225, and I told you guys that, that's the heaviest I ever been in my life. But now I'm down to about 216. 216 right now. And this is a pretty good diet because I was telling Kate and Guru that I don't eat after 7 o'clock. I basically eat a lot of protein, no carbohydrates. I eliminated the bread. I eliminated pizzas. I eliminated donuts, which I really don't eat. I don't really eat donuts. But I do, most of the stuff that I eat, it has like bread on it, definitely sandwiches and stuff like that. I actually cut it down to like a low carbohydrates diet, which is pretty good. I know it's kind of like keto or whatever, but I still want to tell you guys that I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm getting there, and my goal is to be around 200 by the end of the year. And I know that I can do it. And water helps me a lot, too. I've been drinking a lot of water, which is really, really important for this project to work for me. So I'll keep you guys updated every week on what I'm doing. Also, I want to mention that I am sitting up here right now in my Tom Brady. Now, Caden Guru is sitting over here. He's laughing. My Tom Brady Tampa Bay Buccaneers pewter jersey. I love this jersey because it's Tom Brady. First of all, you got to give credit where credit is due. As a Raider fan, I really don't like what he did to my Raiders, but as a football fan, I like jerseys, and I always come out every single week, even in the football season. I'm going to be wearing a jersey, so I'm going to let you know what I have on and everything. But I really like Tom Brady's jersey. It's really sweet, and I'm definitely going to wear it. And Caden Guru is in the background right now, waving and holding his nose like it stinks. Okay, now, Caden Guru, you ought to see him in here. All right, now, we're going to talk about a couple things. NFL preseason is in their second week. This is second to last week. And like I said, they got one more, week 3, and they're done. They're basically going to the start of the season. Big Ben is playing Pittsburgh versus Detroit. And Big Ben is 6-8 right now for 83 yards. He did throw a touchdown pass. And it looked like he's going to take about two series of this first quarter or so. He just completed a pass here to Najee Harris. Najee Harris looks pretty good. And he's running, and he is out at about like the 11 or 12 yard line. Okay, I know I could do play-by-play if I wanted to. First of all, I got to give the NFL Network a very, very well-deserved F for earlier this today, because I was looking forward to seeing the New York Jets and the Green Bay Packers play, but you know what they did instead? They put on the stinking Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles. I forget there's an Eagle fan sitting right next to me. They put on the Eagles game from Thursday night, which I already didn't want to see, and I had to watch it again. But actually, I turned it off because I didn't want to watch that again. They lost 35-0. They looked very, very bad. The Raiders and the Rams are coming on right after this ball game, and like I said, the preseason looks pretty good. I mean, I've actually paid. We've been paying attention to mostly the Matt Jones and, Cam Newton story up in New England. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how my guy, Trevor Lawrence, do in Jacksonville. That's what I'm looking, one of the things I'm looking for. And, they had to say goodbye to Tim Tebow this week. Because last week he kind of I don't know what he was doing out there. But, I'm not going to get into the whole Tebow thing. I'm not. Because I look at it this way. Urban Meyer should know better on what to do in that situation with Tebow. Okay? He shouldn't have been on the field. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go into it deeply because I'm not going to allow myself to get into that Tebow conversation like everybody else has out there. And, I try to keep it different here. I try to give you my opinions on sports things, which is not the same as everybody else's. Okay? I know the Tim Tebow story was out there, and I, really didn't pay that no attention. Whatever. Also, the Deshaun Watson thing. I have no comment on the Deshaun Watson situation right now. Even though it is mainstream sports, I have no comment on it. I'm not going to talk about it. The only thing I just kind of worry about is because my fantasy football draft is coming up, which is, I'm going to mention this in a few minutes, but fantasy football is coming up. Okay, I'm not going to mention anything about Deshaun Watson. Okay, Hard Knocks. I have not watched an episode of Hard Knocks because I have been traveling a little bit more, and the last couple of weeks I have been traveling. I haven't got a chance to see it. I am going to take a look at it probably tonight or tomorrow later after I drop off Caden Guru. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to, just pick my spots. I think that I want to see CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is probably one of my big targets for fantasy, but actually, I hate to say this, but Caden Guru is sitting right here next to me. And Caden Guru is actually a member of my fantasy football league. He will be the third Briscoe, actually, because I'm the one that created this league. I created this league about like maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and Caden will be the third one. My other son Dante Guru, he was in there when it first started. He played like 3 years. He won the championship. He retired. Derek B, he was in there. He played a couple years, and then he retired. Won the championship, and he retired. Both of them walked off on championships. Now, Caden Guru is the third one to come along. And in week 6 of our fantasy league, we are going to be matched up. And this will be, we call it Briscoe Bowl number 15. Because I've actually, I think I won like maybe 4 of these and lost a lot of them. And you know, I really don't fare well against my brother or my son. But hopefully this year I can be able to beat up on Caden Guru's team, and that should be, you know, pretty much fun. What do you think, Caden Guru?
I don't know. It's going to be a close game.
It's going to be close. Okay. I limited. I went from I had 12 teams up until 2019, and I think I'm going to drop back down to 10 teams. And even I was trying to make it 8 teams, but you know, I got a lot of commitments from the other guys that wanted to play, so I'll make sure that they got back in. And I didn't have it last year because of the COVID situation, the pandemic, COVID-19, you know, coronavirus, whatever. I didn't want to play. I didn't feel like playing last year, but I ended up in 2 leagues and won the championship in both. And it was funny because like it took me a little while to try to get those championships. After 2008, when I first started, I won it my first year out. I won it 2 other times, I think in 2016. And then I had to wait from 2016 all the way up to 2020 to win 2 more. So I got like 5 fantasy championship rings now. So that's more than the Eagles. And no, I'm just teasing. You got to remember, I got a Philadelphia Eagle fan right here, and I'm going to be teasing him all night. Anyway, now I do want to jump into some baseball. Before I go into my main subject for today, is the 25 top baseball movies of all time as I see them. Okay, not, you know, I'm not a movie critic. I'm not really a movie critic, but I know my baseball movies when I see them. Now, I could probably, now when football season come along, I am going to do a top 25 of football movies. And I hate to say this right now, but Brian's Song is probably going to be one of my favorite football movies of all time. Every time I watch that movie, I kind of like really got sad, and a couple times I was crying. I think the first time I ever saw it, I think I really I broke down and cried because, you know, it's a great movie. But like I said, we'll talk about the Brian's Song. We'll talk about NFL movies or football movies a little bit later down the season when the football season actually starts. I don't want to talk about it right now because it's still baseball season, and even though that, you know, we got a lot of hype for the NFL preseason right now and all that's going on, I still want to talk about baseball. And baseball has been, you know, pretty much tremendous this year. And now, I do want to mention 2 teams. The New York teams are playing, one's playing great and one is not so great. Okay, the Mets. The Mets are terrible right now. And just think, about 4 weeks ago, they were leading that division. The Braves caught them, and now they're, you know, doing pretty good. The Phillies had a lead for a while, and the Braves caught the Phillies, and now it's going to be that 3-team race. I like the Braves in that division. I still think the Braves are a better team. And, you know, we'll see. we'll see what happens. Okay. Um, Speaking of the Braves, right now they're beating the Orioles, and I was going to talk about the Orioles. They have lost 16 straight right now, and they're in the top of the fourth right now, losing 3-1, and that could be number 17. And I hate to say this, I'm from the city of Baltimore. I cannot stand when the Orioles are this bad, and I just don't know what can they do. What is the remedy for them to get better? I don't know. If anybody can figure it out, I wish you can let me know. Okay. Now, in between this Mets and Yankees conversation, I got to give you a phone number. 302-468-7239. 302-468-7239. Now, that is the number that you can call the guru directly. You can leave a message. You can, do anything you want. I got some big props that I'm going to give a couple people at the end of the show. Black Goat Entertainment told me to change up a few things, and I am going to be changing up a few things in the next several weeks. But I just wanted you guys to know that a few things are coming as a change. Okay, now let's talk about the Yankees. The Yankees have been hot. And, for a season that they had, basically, I think that they're right now one of the best teams in baseball. Over the last couple weeks, the Yankees have basically erased the deficit they had. And they are basically now leading the Red Sox, and it's just jumped over them. And Tampa Bay is still playing really good. I'm not a big Tampa Bay fan because they're Tampa Bay. Anyway, they're still leading their division. The Yankees jumped over them, and now I think they own the first wild card spot. Oakland has been playing pretty good, and I think they leapfrogged over Oakland, and now Oakland holds that second wild card spot in the American League. One of the teams that have really been surprising with me this year has been the Chicago White Sox. I really enjoy watching them play. I've seen them play a couple more times. And last night, my man Tim Anderson, I love this guy. Tim Anderson did it again. And, brung the White Sox back and gave them the victory last night. Okay. Yankees are basically built for the postseason. We all know that. And I got to give big props and credit to Aaron Boone for holding this thing together. Even though Cashman is, their general manager, and Cashman, Yankee fans, we know how they are. They're going to be rowdy, and they're going to expect, and believe me, anything other than a World Series championship is a failed season for the New York Yankees. But I see them coming on right now, and I'm really worried because they could just basically just run off with that wild card spot and surprise someone in that one-game playoff. Like I said, the Yankees are doing pretty good, and I can see them now winning, getting that first wild card spot and hosting the A's in that one-game playoff. It's going to be interesting. Baseball season is winding down. They're coming down, and like right now, it's just basically now they're getting to the point where they want, they're just trying to build up the momentum for the playoffs. And it seems as though that the Yankees bullpen and everything has been clicking for them very much in the last several weeks. And they've been pretty hot. My Dodgers has been still hot. But they seem like they just can't catch no ground over San Francisco. I can't imagine Gabe Kapler, how he feels now since he left Philadelphia. And now he's probably one of the best. He's probably going to end up winning Manager of the Year in the National League. I'm not a Giants fan, because I am a Dodger fan. But I got to give credit where credit is due. And Gabe Kapler is probably going to get the NL Manager of the Year. Okay. Now, we're going to talk the greatest baseball movies of all time. I think I had like 29 of these that I wrote down. And I want to make sure that I get to them. And I'm going to name them off, and I'm going to give you the year that they were made. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the top 10, and then in the top 10, I'm going to give you a little bit more in depth over these, the way I see them. Okay. Now, drum roll, please, for the top 25 baseball movies of all time. Drum roll, please, first off. Okay. Now, number 25 I had was $1 Million Arm, 2014. Now, I'm just going to read these off as I have them. Number 24, Trouble with the Curve, 2012. Number 23, For the Love of the Game, 1999. Number 22, Rookie of the Year, 1993. Number 21, Fever Pitch, 2005. Number 20, Damn Yankees, 1958. Number 19, Take Me Out to the Ball Game, 1948. Wow, that's a long, long time ago. Number 18, Fear Strikes Out, 1957. That was the one about Jimmy Pearsall, and most of these movies I did see, and I just want to make sure that I acknowledge these because, like I said, most of these movies I have watched, they're pretty good. Okay, number 17, I have 61 from 2001. That was the one about the chase between Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle for the 61 home run chase. I remember that one. I saw that one. That was pretty good. All right, where are we at? Number 16? Yes. Okay. Number 16. Where's number 16 at? The Jackie Robinson Story from 1950. Wow. That was a good one because that was actually had Jackie Robinson starring as himself and his wife playing in there as well. Okay, number 15, I got Bang the Drum Slowly, which is really, really good from 1973. I did watch this I've seen this one about like maybe 2 or 3 times. Very, very good baseball movie. Okay, number 14, we're at number 14. The Sandlot from 1993. I know this comes down a little bit lower, but like I said, there are some really, really big heavy hitters that are still coming up. Okay, where are we at? Number 13? Okay, number 13 is Moneyball. Moneyball is a great movie about Billy Beane and how they built that Oakland A's team. Number 12, A League of Their Own. I know that comes down a little bit lower, but believe me, there are some heavy hitters that are coming up. Number 11. I really like this movie because it made me think about what I was going through when I was trying out for baseball. And it actually came out the same year Dante Guru was born. Major League, 1989. Okay. Drum roll, please, for the top 10. Okay. At number 10. 42, 2013. The story about Jackie Robinson and how he became one of the, how he was brought into the major leagues by Branch Rickey. I thought it was an excellent movie. That was number 10. Okay, drum roll please. Number 9. Bingo Long, Traveling All-Stars, and Motor Kings. Probably one of the best movie about how the Negro Leagues. It was basically about the Negro Leagues and the flamboyancy and everything that went on in the leagues at that time, at the height of the leagues, from 1920 all the way up to 1950. And believe me, this was one of my favorite movies growing up, from 1976, starring Billy D. Williams, Richard Pryor, James Earl Jones, a really, really good cast. And believe me, one of the greatest baseball movies I ever seen. Okay, where are we at? Number 8? Okay, number 8. Drum roll, please. And Goldie, please hurry this up. Okay? Number 8. Hey, Goldie, wait a minute. Goldie, look. I'm going to tell you something. Hey, hold on a second. All right, Goldie. Do me a favor. When I say drum roll, please, hit the drum roll and don't be overdoing it, okay? Believe me, I got to talk to you later. Okay, number 8. We're at number 8, right, Katie Guru? Okay, we're number 8. Bad News Bears from 1976. I thought this was a great movie. Walter Matthau, Tatum O'Neal. I thought great movie. Great storyline. And the kids in there, the coach drinking beer and stuff like that. That was Kelly Leaks and all that. Great movie. Bad News Bears, number 8. Okay, Goldie, drum roll, please. And please don't be starting it early, or just do it right. All right, number 7. Bull Durham. Great movie. Kevin Costner was in that, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. And Susan Sarandon, great, awesome movie. Bull Durham, number 7. Okay. Do you think you can do it right this time, Goldie? Okay, we're at number 6. Number 6 is coming up. Drum roll, please, Goldie. Don't mess it up. Number 6 is 8 Men Out. Probably one of the best baseball movies I've ever seen. And I watched this movie several times, about the 1919 Black Sox scandal, which is one of the biggest scandals of all time, and how these guys got kind of like out of it, but banned from baseball for life. Say it ain't so, Joe. Yeah, I remember that. Great movie. We're at the top 5 right now. Coming up, number 5. Goldie, do your thing, please. Number 5 is The Babe. John Goodman playing Babe Ruth. Great, awesome movie. And it showed the heartache of him when he was retiring and coming out of baseball. He said that he wanted to be a manager and they wouldn't let him do it. But I thought this was one of the best baseball movies of all time. The Babe at number 5. All right, Goldie, number 4. Are you going to play the drum roll? God. Number 4 is Pride of the Yankees, 1942. And, I'm not going to say that most of these movies are made about the Yankees and the Dodgers, but most of the great ones were made about the Yankees and Dodgers. this was the Lou Gehrig story, and I thought that the Lou Gehrig story was very, very intriguing. I enjoyed it because Jackie Cooper, or Gary Cooper, played this part the right way, and it was just amazing. And I learned a lot more about Lou Gehrig as this movie progressed. And I thought this was one excellent movie, one of my favorites of all time, The Pride of the Yankees. All right, we're in the top 3. Do you think you can do this on time, Goody? All right, Goody. Number 3, please. Number 3 we talked about last week, basically, when they had the game in Iowa, and that was Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams is still probably one of the most recognizable and most impactful baseball movie of all time. We got 2 more to go, and here we go. Goody was number 2. Goody. Number 2 is The Natural. The Natural from 1984. Excellent, excellent baseball movie. I think that Robert Redford is probably one of the best actors of all time. And Robert Redford played this part. And the Exploded Scoreboard was probably one of my favorite things I ever seen. If I had the power, I would definitely hit it the same way. And that was number 2, The Natural. Comes up with number 1. Goody, what is number 1? The number 1, my favorite movie, baseball movie of all time, is Cobb from 1994. Now, let's talk about Cobb. Cobb is the story of Ty Cobb, one of the greatest baseball players of all time and greatest hitters of all time, that lived with a lot of demons. And this story basically told all about his demons, how he ended up being the way he was. Cobb was one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Base stealing. And, I liked his grit. I liked his grit and the way he played the game. But the thing about it is that he felt as though that every single time you step out on that field, it meant war. And I kind of understand it, but then again, it's like, you got to remember, it's only a game. You're not going out there and fighting against another. You're battling to get a win. Yeah, I understand that, but Ty Cobb made it personal like that all the time. But one of the greatest movies I ever seen, and it also featured a couple of the greatest baseball writers I've known. Alan Malamud, he was in that movie, and probably one of the greatest baseball writers of all time. He was in there. There is a lot of things that goes on, and you gotta when in this movie you have to understand that this guy played one of the greatest roles and probably one of the hardest roles to play in history. I think in history, in the history of baseball movies. I got to give Tommy Lee Jones a lot of credit. Got to give him a lot of big props because that movie was kind of hard to make. And Tommy Lee Jones played it perfectly. Perfectly. So that was my top 25. And I do have a couple honorable mentions. Honorable mentions, I have The Rookie from 2002. Mr. Baseball from 1992 with Tom Selleck. And my other honorable mention is got to be Mr. 3000, the late, great Bernie Mac. It was funny. The funny thing about this story is that he thinks that he has 3,000 hits, but he has to go back and get. They only counted up 1997, so he had to go back and get 3 hits to make 3,000. Excellent movie, but it was one of my honorable mentions. Okay, now I do got to give some big props out to some listeners, and I really appreciate this, and I have some listener comments, which I always encourage you to, subscribe to the podcast, and please leave us a 5-star rating. Leave us some comments, and I'm getting a lot of comments, and I'm starting to read now. Okay, this one is from Craig M. Great pod, dude. Okay, I can take that. Sanjay, yeah. Love this podcast. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really, really appreciate you listening. And Mary A., great job, Guru. Love you. Love you too. We appreciate you. Like I said, folks, we appreciate everybody. And we thank you for always listening in and subscribing to the show. I do want to mention one thing before I do get out of here. I want to mention the word grateful. Word for this week is grateful. Grateful. I am grateful and thankful for the opportunity to come on this microphone every single week and give you my opinions and give you my stories. And thank you for taking the time to, pick up this podcast and listening to it. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty funny. I think I'm pretty funny. Sometimes I do get a little locked in thought and memory and stuff like that, but, I really enjoy being on the microphone, talking to you guys and letting you guys know that, hey, this is what I do. Black Goat 39 is, has given me all the, freedom and leeway to do things that I can. Okay, like I said, I want you guys to remember, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Gmail. You can Gmail the Guru at gurusdailyshorts@gmail.com. Find us on any podcast outlet that you can. We're on Apple iTunes. We're on Amazon. Spreaker is the main vessel that we come out of every single week. I got to give big props to Damian Adams, Miss Mary Mack, and my man Jeff Duarte. Okay, also, I want to give a shout out to, the Hip Hop Brothers. They're out there. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening. My crew, Caden Guru, is here with me, the executive producer. My man Vinny V is the technical advisor. Ray Guru is the musical director. Dante Guru is the backup co-host to the co-host. And my man Derek B will be back. Like I said, we'll be back here September 11th, right before the first game of the season. Me and Derek will be back to give you the rundown on the season. And that's all we're going to talk about, the season. We're going to talk about the games that we're going to pick. And we're going to go with, bet lines and all that good stuff. Shout out to my Twitter peeps, Kate. Kate, thank you. I actually did bring home my wallet and my phone. I didn't leave it this time. My man Rick in Buffalo, Bella B, Jeff in Southland, Lori Alberta Girl 34. Appreciate you, my buddies, DA Illuminati's Originals. I really appreciate you guys. I want to say also to one of my friends, Mel, thank you for all your comments and help, and and believe me, I would really appreciate you, and just talking to you. You're a good person. I really, really appreciate it. Now, the motto and saying is, this has been a Black Goat Productions for Black Goat Entertainment. Copyright 2021, all rights reserved. We don't steal from nobody. We always congratulate and we never hate. Believe me. This will be the end of our show, our podcast for this week. We want to say thank you. And also, we have a little bit of outro music. What's the outro music, Goldie? Goldie, where you at? Outro music. We're sticking with our theme of what was this? The Doors. Hey, oh yeah, meant to ask. Caden Guru, I told him I liked the Doors, and he said the who? He said the Floors at first, and he started laughing. We joke about this, but I told him, I said this is my favorite rock group of all time, and he laughed because he said their beat don't sound right, do they? They're good. All right, we're out of here. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here next week. The Guru. We'll see you real soon. You guys take care of yourself. Enjoy your week, the rest of your weekend. And we will talk to you next week. Later.